A former Macon mayor placed in handcuffs, and tonight he's telling us he doesn't regret the circumstances that led up to it. Good evening, and thanks for watching Wgxa News at 10. I'm Aaron Leedy. Residents of Creekside at Macon Apartments and former Mayor Wgxa Ellis demanding justice for what they say is an environmental injustice happening at the complex. WGXA's Aaron Wise joining us now. And Aaron, you caught up with Ellis, who was detained at the complex for refusing to leave until action was taken.
The drama started at about midday here in Creekside at Macon apartment complex when Ellis held a press conference bringing attention to a large garbage bin that, according to him and residents, has been overflowing for months.
I was on public property. We were doing public good. We're not here to do any harm. We're trying to help people not live around this garbage come Christmas.
Former Macon Mayor Wgxa Ellis, who comes to the Creekside at Macon apartment complex often to see friends, says for months residents have been living in filth and fighting the smell of garbage as well as the pests that come with it, something one resident agrees with.
It's called diseases and infestation of rats and things, and then you got a problem with rats and roaches and stuff that's coming all into the apartment. And people have little kids and things down there playing out there, you know.
Creekside management declined an on-camera interview but told me on site the issues are due to residents misusing a garbage container, which is only meant for furniture and larger objects. Management also says the reason for the overflow is because the larger dumpster is only picked up on a need basis and not on a weekly route, like the regular dumpsters in the complex, which were empty as of Tuesday. Management put out a sign on the dumpster and claims they sent out a letter notifying the residents of the misuse, directing them to use the regular bins for house trash instead of the larger container. A letter that management could not provide to us, and one that some residents say they never received.
Well, I ain't never got no letter. What we get a letter for? I ain't got no letter.
Ellis says there is no excuse for the trash buildup and that this issue goes deeper than the garbage.
That wouldn't happen other than to poor people, because they feel that poor people don't have a voice, yet they're paying their rent and they have a vote. They do have a voice, so we can't forget them.
Now, management told me that they already had made arrangements to have the trash removed from the complex prior to today's events. As of this afternoon, Advanced Disposal did bring another large garbage bin into the complex, but the process of dividing the trash for transportation has yet to begin. Reporting in Macon, I'm Aaron Wise, WGXA News.
Aaron, thanks. And deputies are investigating whether Ellis committed a criminal violation while speaking outside of those apartments. The Bibb County Sheriff's Office says when deputies arrived, they were informed by apartment management that Ellis was asked to leave the property and had refused. Deputies detained him and later released him. Now it's been a wild day of weather, hot temperatures. We had some rain, and now the temperatures are pretty cold outside. Jeff Cox tracking it all on the Skywatch Weather Center. Jeff, a little something for everyone today, right?
No doubt about it. We aim to please today. We were able to help out everyone enjoy their Tuesday when it came to the weather. Welcome into the Skywatch Weather Center. Ooh, this cold front has lived up to its name, folks. It has brought, as Aaron mentioned, warm weather ahead of it, cold weather behind it, and a little bit of rain to go along with it. A live look at the radar tonight. Still some showers floating through the area, a little bit of drizzle and mist, maybe even some fog, but the widespread organized rain has exited middle Georgia and it'll stay out of the region. So a few showers through the overnight can't be ruled out. In the meantime, boy, it is chilly out there. The new number in Macon, 49. That's after a high of 78 this afternoon. But once the northwest wind switched around, boy, I tell you what, that cold air rushed in, and so you need the winter jacket tonight. Latest numbers, that wide range of temperatures continues. 45 in Gray and Thomaston and Butler, still 59 in Mount Vernon. So that 15 to 20 degree spread continues. You'll just have to trust your backyard thermometer tonight. School day forecast for tomorrow, much different. Mid-40s at the bus stop. We'll add 10 by lunchtime. Close to 60 for the ride home, and a day that will be dominated by cloud cover. So today's warmth, 78. Is it rare for this time of year? We'll look at the data behind that. Plus, we'll keep an eye on those tumbling temperatures, and there is more rain on the way. We'll track it with your 10-day forecast. It's coming up in just a few minutes.
Developing now, an hours-long standoff between two suspects, and police ended with multiple people dead, including one officer in Jersey City, New Jersey. Heavily armed officers blocked off streets and schools were placed on lockdown. What led up to the standoff is still being investigated, but according to police, that situation began with the murder of a police officer about 40 miles south at a cemetery and included a stolen vehicle. 3 other officers were wounded in that gunfire but are expected to survive. 5 people were found dead inside the bodega. Police believe among those that died were 2 suspects. Continuing coverage tonight on the Pensacola shooting, law enforcement officials are perplexed as to how the shooter at the naval base legally obtained a firearm. The investigation into Saudi Air Force officer Mohammed El-Shamrani continues to raise red flags about security breakdowns. His social media accounts show a growing radicalization over the time he spent in the U.S. Well, Sheriff David Morgan there was stunned to find out that the suspect was able to get a gun with a valid Florida hunting license. The city of Pensacola remaining under a cyber attack tonight. Right now, it's unclear how the attack happened or who's behind it. But as Amy Russo explains, the FBI believes it's not linked to the deadly Naval Air Station Pensacola shooting.
If you call the city of Pensacola's 311 line,
we're sorry, your call cannot be completed at this time.
Or try to pay a Pensacola Energy or your sanitation bill online right now, these are the responses you'll get. Many of the city's communication systems remain down as the city is under a cyber attack. City spokesperson Casey Lagarde says they learned about this problem around 1:30 Saturday morning.
We have disconnected much of our city network just to make sure we can get everything back up and running safely and make sure that we're not vulnerable to any other cyber attacks.
Lagarde says the city's network will stay this way until the issue is resolved. That means the phones and emails at City Hall don't work, and you won't be able to pay your Pensacola Energy or sanitation bills online. But we are told 911 and emergency dispatch are up and running.
We are continuing to operate as best we can, but you realize how much you rely on internet and email and technology.
Monday, the city could not say who was responsible for the attack, how the hackers were able to access the city's information, and if there's been a ransom demand. Dr. Iman Al-Sheikh is the director of cybersecurity at the University of West Florida. She says it's hard to keep up with the evolving methods of hackers.
Unfortunately, we're living in a world where as our cyber defenses are getting more advanced, so are the cyber criminals in their ways as well.
The FBI did say on Twitter they don't believe the cyber attack was linked to the NAS Pensacola shooting. It's still unclear if anyone's personal information was compromised.
We're still in the assessment phase and we are working on resolving these issues, again, as quickly as we possibly can. I definitely understand that that's a concern of the public.
Major changes made on Capitol Hill tonight. How one of those changes will affect jobs across the nation.